My mother did nothing. She was a how that, a very beautiful woman wanting to have fun. Nothing special she did. She was a seducer, a man's seducer. My mother, when she was in Paris, she played cards. It was a time when they all played gin rummy. And she played cards with that woman who was a friend of hers called Maggie van Zwillen, who was an intimate friend of Chanel. And Chanel was looking for girls, special girls. And she sent me there, and voila, and we sort of got along very well. And I was very young, I was 16 years old, and I started working for Chanel.
How old was Chanel?
She was already an old lady, about 70 something. I don't really remember. She was like if she was a playboy, and we were all trying to please her. And she protected me. She liked me. She probably sensed that I was a bit special, but she was a very special person. She taught me, how to dislike people. She saw the bad in everything, and this I kept from her. Something very negative. She saw the bad things, and I'm a bit like that. Well, I'm tied to people like that because Yves didn't like people either. Yves Saint Laurent. They're exceptions, of course, but they don't like people. They're special. They don't mix people like Chanel or Saint Laurent. And now Eddie Slimane, same thing.
Can you say a moment like with Chanel when you were alone? What she drink, what she do?
Well, she didn't stop talking first. Didn't stop talking 1 second. And criticizing everything and everybody. But we were all fascinated by her. She was fascinating. She had a divine apartment above the Rue de Cambon. And then she had an apartment at the Ritz also. And she had people for lunch in the Maison de Couture, and the evening she was alone at the Ritz. She was already quite old. She didn't go out very much in the evening. So one night she took me to dinner at Francine Vesveler. Francine Vesveler was the woman who helped Jean Cocteau, very rich woman, and she presented me to Jean Cocteau. That was something I never forgot. Just once, 5 minutes. And of course I was a baby, I didn't dare to say anything. But I was very impressed. I was very young and very vague, and I didn't really concentrate very much. I didn't like that catwalk thing, And we used to have to carry a number. Like the cows in the in the agriculture saloon, I hated it. I felt like a thing, not a person. So I stopped after 2 years. And then I did photos, just like that. I was not very fascinated, but I wanted to earn money, to be independent, and to go out all night. And then I was picked up by Saint Laurent in a nightclub. And then my life changed completely. When he picked me up in a nightclub, he asked somebody, a friend of his, he was very shy, to get me to come and have a drink with him. And then, of course, he asked me if I would catwalk for him. And I said no. And he probably thought everybody was dying to do that for him. So the fact that I said no maybe was something that he liked, that excited him. And we became friends, and then, he made collections on me. I did photos for him. He took me all over the world. Holidays, trips, everything. Doing crazy things, going for 3 days, not sleeping for 3 days, sleeping somewhere else. It was natural for me. We used to, every day, see each other, or at least talk. The days where we didn't see each other, talk for hours on the phone. and we were very much alike. So it's a help to find in your life somebody that's a, total, how do you say, same type of person,
I know that you've been with him the last minute of his life.
Yes.
Was he afraid to?
No, because he was not there anymore. He was already, in a coma, so he didn't realize what was happening. We were with Pierre Berger and another great friend of his, 3 persons together, next to him. And then, of course, we were terribly shocked and sad, but he wanted to die so much and so many times. He was a very neurotic person, so he talked about how life was awful, that he didn't want to live anymore. So many times that when somebody like that dies, you think that you're prepared in a way.
What makes him so special?
It's just that he's a genius, that he understood his epoch so well, his times. He's not a couturier, he's much more than that. He's a great artist, and he's this kind of sociologue, how do you say that, sociologist. He understands his times. They don't. All those people, they create grotesque clothes, most of them, not all, to disguise women, that has nothing to do with real life or reality. So, some people are clever enough to understand that Yves is a genius. He's above everything.
Did Chanel like Yves?
Yes.
Because she didn't like any designers.
No, she liked, but she was a very old woman. Maybe if it was in her times that it would have happened, she would have hated him with jealousy and competition. But he was very young and she was very old, so she understood that he was a kind of following of her work. And one night they talked to each other in my house on the phone. Thanks to me, they talked once to each other on the phone. I'm very proud of that.
Where did you meet your husband?
In a nightclub also. It was like churches at that time, nightclubs. Also in a nightclub. I met Francis Bacon in the nightclubs, he was very drunk and I was very impressed because I think he's a genius. No, I'm very lucky because I don't have any personal talent, but I have the talent to attract talent. That I know. So I've always been surrounded by people that are completely outstanding.
And when you got married, you would go out together? Or?
We went with the same group, but after that I went out with Yves very much alone. And I don't know, I was quite clever in my way of managing my husband and Yves. There was never any problem, but there could have been. Maybe I did the right thing. It's a miracle. And they liked it. They liked each other. And Pierre Berger and my husband were like fathers to us, They protected us. They were like, they were like parents, They thought we were very naughty, and they were trying to protect and to make us stop.
How many times have you been crazy in love?
Oh, very little. I don't think I'm a great sentimental. No, I think once. Not more.
With your husband?
No. I think, now I would say for my husband, yes. But I'm not somebody who falls in love easily.
And what you can say about the marriage? It's like by the time it becomes kind of friendship, or you still have the attraction to the person next to you?
No, it becomes something very complete. When you're very happy with someone, the person becomes everything. Husband, lover, father, brother. It's a combination.
Do you believe in destiny?
I don't know what to say about that. First, I'm a believer. I believe in God. So it's a mixture. You know, I think everything that's good is a miracle. You know, I see things a bit that way.
Do you go to church?
I go to church, absolutely.
Did you go to church always, or it
No,
came by the time?
no, it came, you know, since a little time. I had off and on periods.
Do you pray?
Yes, I pray. Oh la la, you're getting very intimate. I pray, yes.
So you, I know that you didn't go to any fashion shows.
I never go to anything except Saint Laurent and Eddie Slimane.
It's because it's like a kind of not agreement, but you have you.
Not agreement. I'm not interested in fashion. I don't need. I dress like a man, like a boy. I don't need to see dresses. It's like
But do they
a
invite
choice. Ah, yes, I'm very much invited, but I never go. They're very nice. Almost all of them invite me, but I never go.
Your style is copied by a lot of photographers and models. If you've seen the guy who is like completely wants to look like you, the model. I don't know.
Oh, Andrzej Plezik is called, no?
Yeah, he wants to be you, I think.
Well, I'm
Have
very
you seen-
flattered. He's divine. Oui, I think he's a. Oui, he did Jean-Paul Gaultier disguised as me. I think. Wait.
Yes.
He's very well. I'm very flattered because I think he's a beauty.
Do you feel yourself as a style icon? Do you understand? Okay, that the people, a lot of girls, like especially and boys, want to be like you.
I never think of that, but I understand boys more because I have something a bit boyish. I don't think of things like that. I never analyze things like that. I'm very flattered, but I don't think of it.
What do you have sometimes nostalgia of past?
Never. I'm exactly like Pierre Berger. Exactly. I never think of the past. It depresses me to think of the past. I have no special good memories. I like today and tomorrow. Exactly like Pierre Berger. It's Yves Saint Laurent who was like that, nostalgic of the past. He kept saying all the time, "Oh, it was so much better. It was so much," and I said, "Not at all. It's different, but it's just as good." No nostalgia at all.
You have two daughters.
I have two daughters.
Did they ever go out with you, or
No.
did they share your life?
No. They're very serious people. You know, usually the children are the contrary of the parents. Maybe they do it on purpose. They're too intellectuals, very serious, never think of their looks. The contrary.
Did you spend a lot of time with them?
Not. I don't think so, no. No, because I was out all night, sleeping all day. No, I probably was very bad, but they loved me.
What do you read?
Well, I'm not a great intellectual, you know. I don't read that much, but I read a little bit. And the last book I read is written by a friend of mine, an American. It's on Fersen, who was the lover of Marie Antoinette. Voilà. You know, I try to read history because I don't know that much, so it's better to read something that brings you something that stays. I don't read novels or things like that.
Did you ever want to leave Paris and live somewhere else? Because sometimes this city can be.
No, I never felt like leaving, but if I had to, I would. But I love living in Paris. It's a good city for people who don't work, Paris.
Really?
Oh yes, because you can walk in the streets, you can look at the sky. I mean, nobody's rushed in Paris. It's not like New York where you can't, you know, let yourself go in the street or not. No, Paris is very good for people who don't work, I think.
Did you go to Morocco with
Ah, oui, all the time. We used to go, the two of us alone, and he was drawing his collections, you know. And I used to wear his clothes. He loved, having somebody arriving in the things he liked. I used to sort of play a little theater for him, to inspire him and to amuse him.
How do you see yourself after 5 years? In 5 years during this time, what you gonna do? Do you have any plans? Do you ever make plans?
Never, and there's always a surprise coming up. I never make plans. I just live my little life. I'm a bit in a little cloud. The real thing I didn't tell you, c'est que I don't want to grow up. I want to stay a child. That was my thing with Yves Saint Laurent. So, no responsibilities, no plans, nothing. Just nothing. Remaining like a child.